to another podcast. Today is Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. Today we're going to recap the last night's Monday Night Football games. We will recap college basketball, NBA, NHL, look ahead to everything today, and then same for notable soccer. We have a future bet for the portfolio, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start Monday Night Football. There were two games that were both thrillers in the end. The biggest story right now of the two games is that the New York Football Giants do it again with Tommy DeVito under center, 24-22 over the Packers on a game-ending field goal by Randy Bullock as time expired 37 yards. And that was after Jordan Love threw a go-ahead touchdown pass to Malik Heath. 2-point conversion failed. And that was huge. That turned out to be huge as the Giants were able, no pressure, just go march down the field with 2 timeouts and under 2 minutes to go and get it done. So that was some game. They win and covers 6.5-point underdogs at home, and yours truly gets the cover. And yours truly gets the cover with the Titans, who actually won outright 28-27 over the Dolphins. The Titans are 5-8 somehow, and Miami is 9-4, and they're not a lock to win that division anymore. The Dolphins were up by 14 with 3 minutes to go, and then Will Levis to DeAndre Hopkins, and then they get the 2-point conversion. And then Dolphins go 3 and out. Titans get the ball back. Levis drives, and then Derrick Henry 3-yard run gets it done. So a stunning comeback. I think this was obviously more stunning than the Giants comeback, only because Miami was up by 14. And it's just a terrible loss for Miami and Mike McDaniel and Tua. So, absolutely something that Tennessee came back and won that game as well. So, Fab 5 next week is going to be very interesting, that's for sure. College basketball, we'll move on. We will go over the results from yesterday, look ahead to tonight's game, which is a little larger than yesterday. Longwood over Gallaudet, 92-61. A&M Commerce over Northern Colorado, 101-99 in double OT. Gardner-Webb over North Greenville, 79-60. SC State over Jacksonville, 86-85 in OT. Delaware over Robert Morris, 73-69. Hampton over Mary Baldwin, 153. Penn over Howard, 78-68. Columbia over Fairleigh Dickinson, 87-83. Yale over Quinnipiac, 73-66. New Hampshire over Stonehill, 75-62. Samford over Alabama A&M, 118-91. Texas State over Jarvis Christian, 107-58. Number 10, Gonzaga over Mississippi Valley State, 78-40. Cal State Northridge over Utah Tech, 80-75. And San Francisco over New Orleans, 85-72. All right, at noon we have Champion Christian Southern. We could skip that. 6 o'clock you have Miss Lowell and LIU. Lowell's hosting. My line is Lowell by 19. And we have UMass Lowell by 17.5, total of 150.5. I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, 6:30. Monmouth, Seton Hall, New Jersey battle. My line is Seton Hall by 14.5, and it's 15.5. Total is 140.5. I'll take that over as well. 7 o'clock on the SEC Network. Georgia Southern, number 12, Tennessee. Mine's Tennessee by 32, and it's 33.5 and 144.5. I'll take that over as well. So these lines are really close, these first three. ESPN 2 tonight, Hofstra, number 21, Duke. Mine's Duke, 13.5, and it's 15.5 and 143.5. Woo! I think Hofstra to cover. Bryant, Cincinnati. Mine's Cincy by 4, and it's 20.5 and 154.5. I'll take Bryant to cover that spread. Cincinnati's not that good. Southeast Louisiana and La Tech. My line's La Tech, 7.5. And it is 13.5 and 133.5. I'll take Southeast Southeastern Louisiana to cover. Pfeiffer, Campbell, Bethel, Tennessee, Tennessee Tech, Southern New Orleans, Troy, skip all those. Western Kentucky, Wright State. My line is Wright State by 1. And it is 5.5 and 162.5. I'll take Western Kentucky to cover the spread. Tennessee, Martin, NC State on the ACC network. Mine's NC State by 7 3/4. And it's 19.5 and 163.5. I'll take Tennessee, Martin plus the points. UMBC, St. Peter's. My line, St. Peter's 4 1/4. And it is St. Peter's by 7.5, total 145. And if I'm surprised St. Peter's is favored by that much, give me UMBC to cover. NC Central, NCAT. My line's A&T, or no, NC Central by 2 1/4. I read that wrong. And we have Central by 5.5, total 149. I'll take A&T to cover. Bowie State, George Washington, we can skip. Big Ten Network, Alcorn State, Maryland. My line is Maryland 19.5. And it's 21.5 and 142.5. I'll take the points. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, South Florida. My line is South Florida by 10 3/4. And 16.5 and 159.5. I'll take Pine Bluff to cover. VMI Radford. My line is Radford by 19 3/4. And it's 14.5 and 144.5. I'll lay the points of Radford. 7:30 Yale Monroe, Sam Houston. My line is Sam Houston 4 3/4. And it's 8.5 and 137.5. I'll take Yale Monroe to cover. Sterling College and Tarleton, we can skip. Prairie View and Northern Iowa at 8 o'clock. My line is Northern Iowa by 13 3/4. And it's 14.5 and 144.5. I'll take the over. Austin P and Southern Illinois. My line is Southern as a 1 3/4 underdog, and they're favored by 11.5, totals 128.5. I'll take Austin P to cover that spread. And plus 530 outright. Waldorf College, North Dakota, skip. IUPUI, Minnesota. My line's Minnesota by 15.5, and it's 23.5 and 138.5. I'll take the points. Avila, Lindenwood, Tabor, UMKC, skip. Green Bay, UIC. My line is UIC by 6 1/4. And it is 12.5 and 131.5. I take Green Bay to cover. 8:30 Fox Sports 1 Coppin State, Georgetown. Mine's Georgetown by 25, and it's 21.5 and 139.5. I'll lay it with Georgetown. Northwestern State, Boise State at 9 o'clock. My line is Boise by 18. And it's 23.5 and 143.5. I'll take Northwestern State in the points. Oral Roberts, Texas Tech. Mine's Tech by 9. It's 13.5 and 143.5. I'll take Roberts in the points. Northern New Mexico State, skip. And then last but not least, Cal Baptist, Oregon at 10 o'clock on the Pac-12 network. My line is Oregon by 16 1/4. And it's 12.5 and 137.5. I'll lay the points with Oregon. Okay, now move on to the NBA. We will recap the games from yesterday, and we have a much smaller window of games for today. Heat over the Hornets, 116-114. Pacers over the Pistons, 131-123. Magic over the Cavs, 104-94. Sixers over the Wizards, 146-101. Nuggets over the Hawks, 129-122. Knicks over the Raptors, 136-130. Rockets over the Spurs, 93-82. Mavs over the Grizzlies, 120-113. Bucks over the Bulls, 133-129 in overtime. Pelicans over the Timberwolves, 121-107. Thunder over the Jazz, 134-120. Kings over the Nets, 131-118. And the Clippers over the Blazers, 132-127. All right, 7:30 tonight, you have the Cavs at the Celtics. My line is the Celtics by 11 1/4 without Mobley. And it is 10.5 and 224. Very close. Slight Celtics. On TNT tonight, Lakers Mavs. There's a possibility of no LeBron and Anthony Davis and no Kyrie. I projected this line with the thought of them all playing, and they don't have Hardaway tonight, Dallas. My line is the Lakers by 1.25, total 230, and 17-20, and it's Lakers by 2, total 234. So that tells you that they think they're playing. Under, though, for the pick. 8 o'clock, Nuggets Bulls. My line's the Nuggets by 11.25, total 233 and 3/5. Or 223 and 3/5. And it's 7.5 and 220. This is a tough one, but I'm going to lay the 7.5 of the Nuggets without Zach LaVine. 10 o'clock on TNT, Warriors Suns. My line is the Suns by 4, total 229 and 7/20. If Kevin Durant doesn't play, Golden State becomes a 1.5 point favorite. And it is 3.5 and 234.5. I'll take the under. And then 10:30 Kings Clippers. My line is the Clippers by 1.25, total 228 and 4/5, and it's 3 and 234.5. I'll gladly take the under. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll recap the results from yesterday, and I think tonight's the large window in the NHL because NBA is a small window. Sabres over the Coyotes 5-2. Isles over the Leafs 4-3 in overtime on a game-winning goal by Bo Horvat. 46 seconds into OT. Stars over the Red Wings 6-3. Avs over the Flames 6-5. That best bet cashed in the second period. Big window tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Hurricanes at the Senators. Canes minus 134, Sens plus 112, over under 6.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 168, Sens plus 1.5 is minus 205. I like the Senators outright plus 112. If they can beat the Rangers the way they did, then they can absolutely beat the Hurricanes too. Coyotes Penguins. Pens minus 196, Coyotes plus 162, over under 6.5, overs plus 108, unders minus 132. Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 152. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 126. I like the over at plus money. Leafs Rangers at the Garden. Rangers minus 154. Leafs plus 128. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 182. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 150. Over. Second of a back-to-back. Rangers defense hasn't been playing well outside of that Kings game. 7:30 on ESPN. Red Wings Blues. Not the game that should be on ESPN. It should be Leafs Rangers. Blues minus 134. Red Wings plus 112. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 8. Unders minus 112. Wings plus 1.5 is minus 215. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm going to go with the Red Wings here. I don't know why they're a dog. Plus 112. 8 o'clock. Flyers Preds. Preds minus 137. Flyers plus 114. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 220. Preds minus 1.5 is plus 180. I like how the Flyers are playing. I'm going to take them outright too at plus 114. A lot of West Coast tonight. 5 West Coast games tonight and 5 technically East or Midwest games. So 10 o'clock on ESPN, Blackhawks Oilers. So Connor versus Connor. The Oilers are back to 500. They're minus 465 home favorites to the Blackhawks. That's ridiculous. Chicago's plus 350, over under 6.5. Overs minus 140, unders plus 114. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is plus 150. Oilers minus 1.5 is minus 182. I'm taking Chicago to cover the plus 1.5 at plus 150. That's insane. Lightning Canucks is a really good game. That should also be an ESPN game. But I understand the Connor versus Connor thing, so I'm not going to kill him for that. Vancouver minus 126. Lightning plus 105, over under 6.5. Overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Bolts plus 1.5 is minus 225. Canucks minus 1.5 is plus 184. I like the over in that game as well. Flames Golden Knights. Vegas minus 192. Flames plus 158, over under 6.5. Overs plus 114, unders minus 140. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 156. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 130. I like the over at plus money in that game. Panthers Kraken. Panthers minus 172. Kraken plus 142, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104 or plus 102. Unders minus 124. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 146. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 176. I like the over plus money there too. And 10:30 Jets Sharks. Jets minus 215. Sharks plus 176. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Others minus 122. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 116. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 40. I know the Sharks have been competitive lately. I think they're 500 in their last several games after the 0-for-10 start that they had or whatever it was. But for this one, I am going to go with over 2.5 Sharks goals at minus 116 solely due to the fact that their offense has played better lately. We don't have the ball to put them out right though. All right, now move on to soccer. We will go over the notable results, and then we have Champions League today to discuss. NELC. All right, La Liga from yesterday. Granada and Athletic 1-1 draw, and Rayo and Celta Vigo 0-0 draw. Serie A from yesterday. Empoli Lecce 1-1 draw, and Cagliari over Sassuolo 2-1. I know another league played yesterday. It wasn't Bundesliga. League 1 wasn't it. Premier League wasn't it. Yeah, that's bizarre. But we have a lot of soccer going on today. We'll start with Champions League, because that's the biggest soccer we have. It's group stage. This is the last couple of days of group stage, so I'll give out picks. So 12:45, so you have PSV and Arsenal. This Group B, the best two teams in Group B. PSV is plus 145, Arsenal's plus 175, the draw's plus 260. We'll go with PSV at plus 145. Lens Sevilla, that is also Group B. So they put the two Group B games at the same time. That was smart. Lens is minus 110. Sevilla's plus 310. The draw's plus 260. So these two teams are pretty even. I like that each team has played each other twice in the group stage. I'm going to go with Lens here at minus 110. All right, 3 o'clock, we have Inter Milan and Real Sociedad. The best two teams in Group D. So this is pretty good scheduling by Champions League, coincidentally, to get this. Inter's minus 145, Real Sociedad's plus 420, the draw's plus 270. I think Inter Milan probably wins. I'll go over 2.5 goals at even money. Union Berlin and Real Madrid. That is Group C. The first place in the bottom team in the league. Real Madrid's favorite, plus 110. Union Berlin's plus 240. The draw's plus 260. I love Madrid, plus 110. Love them. FC Salzburg and Benfica. This is Group D also. The two weakest teams in that group. Benfica's plus 115, Salzburg's plus 210, the draw's plus 280. We'll go with the draw, valuable draw, plus 280. Man United and Bayern, that is Group A. Man United has been no good in Champions League. And Bayern's favored plus 130. Man United is plus 170. The draws plus 310. I'm going Bayern plus 130. Napoli and Braga. That is Group C. I want to see the line for this. Napoli's a huge favorite, minus 210. Braga's 5-1. The draw's plus 370. I kind of like the draw plus 370. I don't like how Napoli's been playing in Serie A lately. They're overvalued here, so I'm going to take the draw. And at 3 o'clock is Copenhagen and Galatasaray. That is also Group A. Galatasaray's slight favorites at plus 155. Copenhagen's plus 160. The draw's plus 270. Galatasaray should be favored. They're playing better lately. I'm going to take them at plus 155 here. Also today, we have ELC games. 2:45, we have Blackburn and Bristol City. Blackburn's minus 130, Bristol City's plus 310, the draw's plus 270. I'm going to take under 2.5 goals, even money. Huddersfield and Preston. Huddersfield plus 155, Preston's 2-1, and so is the draw. That's a hard one, but I'm going to go Huddersfield at home plus 155. Rotherham, West Brom. Rotherham plus 460, draw plus 270. The West Brom's minus 170. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 124. Stoke and Swansea. Stoke plus 110, Swansea plus 250, draw plus 230. I'm going to go with the draw plus 230. Stoke hasn't played well lately. Watford and Ipswich. Watford plus 210, Ipswich plus 125, the draw's plus 230. Ipswich is playing well. I'm taking them plus 125. And last but not least, 3 o'clock, Sunderland Leeds. Sunderland plus 185, Leeds plus 145, the draw's plus 230. I'm going to go with Leeds at plus money, plus 145. All right. The English FA Cup. We have a couple of games today. 2:45, you have Crewe and Bristol Rovers. Crewe plus 200, Bristol Rovers plus 125, the draw's plus 240. I'm going to go Crewe at 2-1, outright. Port Vale and Stevenage. Each team's plus 165, the draw's plus 220. I like Stevenage plus 165 on the road. Barnet and Newport. Barnet minus 110, Newport plus 250, draw plus 270. Why not Newport on the road? Upset plus 250. And then Walsall and Alfreton. So Walsall minus 290, Alfreton is 750, the draw's 370. I'm going to go with the draw at plus 370. And then FIFA Club World Cup today. First round, 1 o'clock, Al Ittihad and Auckland. I think Al Ittihad should win that game. Okay, now we'll move on to the portfolio. There's a lot of interesting ways we can go here. And we have a little bit wiggle room to play with the couple of Monday night bets hitting for me. So soccer's intriguing for futures. And I want to look at the Champions League a little bit as well. And there's a lot of teams that intrigue me in Champions League that are playing really good soccer. And there's 100-1 long shot on the board right now. That's red hot. They're playing early today. They're in Dutch Eredivisie, which obviously is not a strong league. But PSV's 100-1 to win the Champions League. That is very intriguing. And I'm tempted to go there. And Arsenal's 8-1. And I literally just picked PSV to beat Arsenal today. As badly as I want to go with PSV to win Champions League, that just is just weird. Maybe we'll come back to that one in a second if there's no other features that intrigue me. So a couple of players' MVP hits or odds took a hit. Tua, Tyreek Hill, obviously CJ Stroud. But Mahomes is 16-1. That is just insane. Dak and Brock Purdy are co-favorites. Micah Parsons is now the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year because the Browns have kind of fallen apart. The one area that intrigues me is the Coach of the Year market. Right now, the favorites are Dan Campbell, D'Amico Ryans at $350, Mike McDaniels $550, Shane Steichen $650 from the Colts. There's a couple coaches to me that stand out for this award. Do you know who's not on the list? Brian Daboll, who won 3 straight and kind of has gotten his team back into the mix a little bit. That's just weird that he's not on there. And Pete Carroll and that team's falling apart. If those two teams played each other last night, the Giants would have beaten them. But yeah, the Coach of the Year market's very interesting. But there's a coach that's awesome and has a great reputation that is 30-1. And same for a coach that's 60-1, but he doesn't have his quarterback right now, and I do not trust that particular team. Sean McVay's the coach I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on right here. That is 30-1. They should have probably beaten the Ravens, but their schedule lightens up a little bit, although that Giant game is no cupcake anymore. And they are an injury away from falling apart, the Rams. So, McVay, Coach of the Year at 30-1 is very interesting, and getting that team to bounce back and developing Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and Tutu Atwell this year, and a couple of guys on defense as well. So McVay at 30-1 for Coach of the Year is very interesting. And if they just win out or they end up 9-8 and making it, can you see him winning Coach of the Year? I can. So that's one that is interesting. DeMar Hamlin is minus 700 to win Comeback Player of the Year. Oh, they put Joe Flacco up 20-1. That's funny. How about the make playoffs odds? God, the Giants aren't on there. Oh, here's an interesting one. The Cincinnati Bengals to make the playoffs. Yes, it's plus 310. The number one overall pick market is interesting. Jaden Daniels is 35-1 to go first overall. Caleb's minus 500. The field plus 330 over Caleb Williams. And now the Rams are plus money to make the playoffs. So are the Colts. The Steelers are plus 210 to make it. How about the Buccaneers? Yes, plus 110. The Packers are minus to the no now. If the Bears are up there and not the Giants, I think that's ridiculous. Those two teams have the same record. So now I'm looking at NBA futures. The Miami Heat to win the East is 17-1. That's crazy. What about the Sixers to win the Atlantic? Plus 370. Jokic is the right favorite for MVP. I'm looking at Sengun I took a couple weeks ago. Sixth man of the year is always an interesting market to follow. And I think there's guys that have value in the market for this. NBA Coach of the Year is interesting. If Ime Udoka was over 10-1, I would have pulled the trigger there. Nick Nurse 19-1 is interesting. Joe Mazzulla 42-1. Eric Spoelstra's 85. Thibodeau's 250. Kerr's 250. Darko Rajovic of the Raptors is 250. Quinn Snyder's 250. But yeah, there's not a lot of futures I like. Now I'm looking at hockey. The Rangers to win the Stanley Cup at 12-1 is very interesting. Florida to win the Stanley Cup is 18. Look, there's a lot of value for the Stanley Cup. Why not go there for value? There's a team, obviously, in hockey right now that is off to a fabulous start. They're in second place in their division. They have a franchise D-man. They have a guy that is killing it like he always has since he's joined this franchise. Their goaltending this year has been excellent with both their starter and their second string. This team is 35-1 to win the Stanley Cup. I'm going to pull the trigger on it. The Vancouver Canucks. Yes. I like that a lot. I'm going to do a tenth of a unit on it only because I don't feel super about it, but I'm just going with value. And betting on Quinn Hughes and betting on all the talent that they have. So 35-1 for the Vancouver Canucks to win the Stanley Cup. Okay. Now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. We're going to do rapid fire here because of time, regardless of the sport or entertainment news value. So Charlotte FC hires its new coach, Dean Smith, former Austin Villa and Leicester coach, going to the MLS. Interesting hire for Charlotte there. Riley Leonard goes to Notre Dame, as he calls joining the Irish a dream come true. So there's a wild Monday Night Football underdog win streak. So, from $100 to six figures in less than 30 days. And that's according to DraftKings. So, have all these underdogs won outright or covered? I know last night's won outright. The Eagles were an underdog against the Chiefs. The Monday night game before the Giants was, let's see, with this. The Bengals were a dog. They won outright. The Bears were an underdog. They went outright. And then it was the Eagles. The Broncos won outright. So the last favorite to win on Monday Night Football was the Chargers against the Jets. That's crazy. Well, should have been Miami, but Will Levis had other plans. So that's a really interesting streak. So Tommy DeVito, after the win, says big dubs. Him and Dexter Lawrence are feeling good. And DeVito's agent, Sean Stellato, looks like a perfect match for DeVito, as the picture of the agent was going viral. Brian Daboll told Tommy DeVito before the game-winning drive, "Rip that son of a bitch," he says. I love it. Obviously, the big story of the weekend, though, in terms of publicity, was the Chiefs complaining about the offsides call, which was clearly offsides if you saw the picture of the Kadarius Toney play. Peyton Manning wanted a rule change. And then Andy Reid said that Kadarius Toney didn't ask the referee about alignment before a costly offsides penalty. But yeah, you would think that Mahomes and Reid are going to get fined for their comments. Clippers big PJ Tucker unhappy with role. He goes, "I still got a lot to contribute, whether that's here or somewhere else." The league is eyeing an IST rule change, as NBA considering guaranteeing IST champion a playoff spot. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that, because, what if it's a team that falls apart because their best player gets injured? What if it's a team that is just bad and just was hot for a week? But luckily, the Lakers were the team that won the in-season tournament. They're a good team. So, I don't know if I like that. Scotty Barnes is untouchable. He's off limits in trade talks. He's a really good young player. Zion Williamson addresses the TNT crew's comments about his conditioning. Trae Young got ejected. After a couple texts. The Lakers to hang the IST banner December 18th. The all-IST team came out. LeBron and Anthony Davis headlined that. Giannis is on there, Kevin Durant's on there, and Tyrese Halliburton. So that makes sense. Those guys all deserve it. Yamamoto to meet with the Red Sox in the coming days. So he met with the Yankees, he met with the San Francisco Giants, he met with the Mets. The Dodgers want him. And the Dodgers are also interested in Josh Hader. That was amazing. That would be amazing if they got him. They're really going for it. Some soccer news coming out right now. Giorgio Chiellini retires as he hangs up his boots after 24 seasons and 22 trophies. The Royals are looking at veteran starters, Marcus Stroman and Lucas Giolito. The Royals should look for veteran starting pitching because their young ones haven't really broken out yet. David Perron of the Red Wings suspended for cross-checking Artem Zub of Ottawa. Shohei Ohtani posts throwback moments with Angels fans. We'll see how that response went with the Angels fans. And then the Dodgers welcome Ohtani in Dodger blue. But the big news from yesterday with Ohtani is that he is deferring $68 million a year, or he's deferring $680 million, as Shohei will only take a $2 million salary per year to allow the Dodgers to keep spending, which is crazy. And then Bobby Bonilla, this is what it's kind of going to feel like. And then the former Mets executive that signed the Bobby Bonilla contract was all excited about the deferments in the deal. And the Dodgers are aggressively buying, obviously. They're eyeing Yamamoto. They're eyeing Bader, as we talked about. Or not Bader, Josh Hader. Harrison Bader and the Dodgers would be a weird fit. And then the Giants met with Yamamoto, as we said, is there's one of the many big market teams to meet with them. The CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup draw came out as USWNT is to face Mexico, Argentina, and Guyana DR in inaugural tournament. The Knicks missed Emmanuel Quickly against the Raptors due to a knee injury. But the bad news for them is that Mitchell Robinson will be out 8 to 10 weeks to undergo left ankle surgery. That is brutal news for the New York Knicks. They're going to miss his presence at center. He's gotten better since Tom Thibodeau has arrived. And now they have a hole pretty much at center without him to start. Although Jericho Sims is okay. And I'm not a big Isaiah Hartenstein fan. I think he's kind of a stiff. And I don't know. I feel like he's a weak defensive player. He's a good offensive center. But I'm just not a fan of Hartenstein. Inter Miami announces its preseason tour and will face Al Hilal and Al Nassr, so they get to play Ronaldo. Jackson Powers Johnson announces he'll enter the 2024 draft as one of the top-ranked offensive linemen. He's a center. Drake May also declared. The APL America teams came out, headlined by Travis Hunter, Jaden Daniels, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Taj Brooks back to Texas. Ryan Williams, a 5-star wide receiver, reclassifies. He'll finish high school a year early and join Alabama. Justin Herbert to have finger surgery on Tuesday. CJ Stroud has a concussion as he's to remain in concussion protocols after exiting Sunday, so I don't expect him to play this weekend. Justin Jefferson is day-to-day and has a good chance to play against the Bengals on Saturday. And obviously Justin Herbert's out against the Raiders on Thursday night due to the fractured index finger, so we'll be see the backup there. Rookie offensive tackle DeJuan Jones of the Browns out for the year. Knee surgery on his knee. Not good. And then we talked about the league reviewing into Mahomes and Reed's comments on the refs. Dodgers and Yankees make a trade, a 2-for-1, so the Dodgers can make room for Shohei Ohtani and Joe Kelly. Yankees trade prospect Trey Sweeney to the Dodgers. And going back to the Yankees is infield prospect Jorbit Vivas and left-hand reliever Victor Gonzalez. So it looks like they're going to lose Wandy Peralta in free agency. Gonzalez is that replacement. He was good for the Dodgers last year. And Vivas is further along in his development to the big leagues than Trey Sweeney. And the Yankees have a plethora of shortstops in their system, including Anthony Volpe, where obviously Sweeney's blocked by Volpe. So that trade makes sense for the Yanks. And it makes sense for the Dodgers, too, because they need shortstop prospects. So it makes sense for both teams. I don't hate it for either team either. Michigan is looking into the Jawan reports as they're investigating a confrontation between Howard and the S&C coach. So we'll see how that plays out. A lot of drama going on in Michigan this year in both basketball and football. Yikes. And then the AP poll is out for college basketball. We'll go over that very quickly. 1 through 5, Arizona, Kansas, Purdue, Houston, UConn. Arizona should be unanimous. What are we doing here for the low vote for Houston? 6 through 10, Baylor, Marquette, Creighton, North Carolina, Gonzaga. 11 through 15, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Clemson, Kentucky, Florida Atlantic. 16 through 20, Illinois, Colorado State, BYU, Texas, James Madison. 21 through 25, Duke, Virginia, Wisconsin, Miami, Northwestern. So Virginia and Northwestern are new to the poll. A&M and San Diego State drop out. Others receiving votes: Colorado, Ole Miss. It's only a matter of time Ole Miss gets in. A&M, as we mentioned. Auburn, Memphis, Alabama, Utah, Iowa State, Ohio State, Providence, San Diego State, TCU, Nevada, South Carolina, Washington, New Mexico, St. Joe's, Kansas State, Grand Canyon, and Dayton. So there you have it for the AP poll and news and notes. Best Bet brought to you by FanDuel. So there's a lot we can go to. There's a hockey total that stood out, and there's a soccer that stood out as well. I'm going to go with the hockey total, and it's an over I like. And that total is in the Lightning Canucks game. So I'm touching the Canucks again for best bet. Over 6.5. I think that's a higher scoring game. That's 4-3 written all over it. Maybe 5-2. Who knows with an empty netter. But I'm going over 6.5. Laying a quarter unit on it. Over 6.5 between the Lightning and the Canucks for my best bet of the day. All right, so there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, looking ahead to everything. Tomorrow we have Masked Singer tonight, but it's like a special. We have that and Survivor tomorrow night. So we'll do that on the show tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.